If you follow every game, every rumor, and have been frustrated by empty news about the Warriors, pay attention now. Today, the story is different. What no one expected has just been confirmed, and it could be exactly the move that was needed to get the team out of irregularities, painful defeats, and the feeling that the squad wasn't going to react. If you've ever wondered why the team seemed stuck, why decisions weren't coming, and when something big would finally happen, stay here with me because the answer has arrived. In the next few seconds, you will understand what changed, why this could put the Warriors back on the path to victory, and what this mega-bomb means for the immediate future of the franchise. Before continuing, do the following now. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and activate the bell, because the next information is decisive to understand what is happening with the Warriors. This takes 2 seconds and ensures you don't miss any important updates like this. And since you're here, stay until the end of the video, because every detail of this turnaround could completely change the way you see the team from today onwards. Let's move on. Let's talk calmly, but without losing the intensity of the moment. What's happening around the Golden State Warriors isn't just another regular season chapter. It's one of those periods when an organization looks at itself in the mirror and needs to decide who it is, what it still wants to be, and how much it is willing to risk to stay at the top. There is a movement under discussion that is not small, is not symbolic, and is not just another cast adjustment. It's something that could change the course of the franchise and, consequently, affect the entire NBA. Today, the scenario is very different from that team that mentally ran over opponents even before the initial jump. The current Warriors fight, feel the weight of the games, alternate good performances with frustrating nights, and stay in the fight much more because of the competitiveness of the squad than because of the old aura of invincibility. The fans feel it. The cast feels this. And above all, the board feels this. There is an awareness that just being competitive has never been the standard here. Stephen Curry continues to be the great foundation of everything, even living with pain, advancing age, and a body that has already covered miles of playoffs. He continues to deliver at star level and be the beacon that guides the project. Precisely for this reason, each season takes on a different weight. There is no time to waste. The title window doesn't last forever, and everyone knows that wasting years of Curry would be hard to swallow down the road. It is this silent urgency that supports the decisions that begin to be debated internally. At the same time, there is a young core that arouses expectations, but has not yet fully delivered everything it can. Kuminga, Podziemski, and other talents oscillate between flashes of brilliance and natural moments of maturation. On the other hand, historical veterans bring experience, reading of the game, a winning mentality, but they also live with the physical and technical wear and tear that time imposes. Between the future and the past, the Warriors are exactly in the middle of the road, and there is no more uncomfortable place for those who are used to fighting for titles. It is at this point that the central question arises: remain in this middle ground, or take a huge, courageous, and possibly painful step. The franchise's recent history shows that, when necessary, the Warriors have never been afraid of strong decisions. The team that revolutionized the league was born from risky bets. Curry questioned physically, Clay underestimated, Draymond outside the standards, bold signings, changes in philosophy. None of this was comfortable, and yet it changed the sport. Now, a new decision of this size is back on the table. It's not just about changing secondary parts or improving the bench. The discussion is deep and touches on names that are part of this team's identity. There is a real possibility of looking for one of the most dominant players on the planet, someone who combines physicality, technique, defensive and offensive impact, and who would instantly put the Warriors at the center of title conversations again. For this, however, the emotional and sporting price would be extremely high. The idea of seeing Giannis Antetokounmpo alongside Stephen Curry is not a video game daydream. It is a construction that, if it advances, will require giving up beloved players, symbols of the recent past, and emotional pillars of the fans. It's impossible to talk about this without mentioning Draymond Green. He's not just an athlete on the squad. It represents character, competitive identity, leadership, and the essence of a group that marked an era. Accepting the possibility of seeing him in another shirt is tough for any fan who lived through that era. But professional basketball demands difficult choices. As the years go by, Draymond feels natural wear and tear, while the league changes, becoming more physical, faster, and more team-oriented. Superstars capable of deciding series on their own. It is in this context that rational reflection arises. What gives more real chances of winning the title now? Keep the past intact or accept the pain of change in the name of another trophy race? Curry and Giannis on the same team would change the tactical design of the league. Curry's offensive gravity would open up unprecedented spaces for Giannis to attack. Giannis's strength and defense would compensate for the natural wear and tear of the current squad. The pick and roll between the two would be practically indefensible. Coaches would have to redesign defenses, franchises would adjust squads, narratives would change. It would be a duo built for playoffs, for long series, for games that define legacy. Of course, none of this happens without dispute. Other large franchises also observe this scenario. The Lakers, Knicks, Heat, and more suitors know the value of a player of this size. Milwaukee has a contract, is in control of the situation, and will only open talks upon a huge return. Still, the package the Warriors can offer combines youth, ready players, a winning culture, and a chance to keep the Bucks competitive without a deep rebuild. At the same time, for Giannis, playing with Curry and getting into a system of ball movement, spacing, and reading the game can take his basketball to another level. He would have freedom, less double marking, more space to attack the rim, and teammates capable of punishing any defensive help. It wouldn't just be a change of team, but of context. And context, in sport, changes careers. This debate touches both reason and emotion. A part of the fans clings to the constructed history and fears seeing the end of a renowned era. Another part looks ahead and thinks that history is only fully honored when you fight until the last day to win. Both views are understandable. What you can't do is pretend that nothing needs to be decided. Stagnation is the worst possible place. The table shows this clearly. The team is not weak, but it is not dominant either. He wins, he loses, he alternates moments. He is always on the threshold between it could surprise and it could fall prematurely. This average territory is dangerous because it does not deliver titles, does not yield clear reconstruction, and consumes important years of those who can still be champions. In other words, either one undertakes the process of profound renewal or one embraces the immediate search for the top. When we look at other recently winning franchises, the pattern repeats itself. Tough decisions, big changes, courage to change structures, letting go of the past when necessary. This is how you keep windows open. The question that hangs over the Warriors today is simple, and at the same time, huge. What price will you accept to pay to see Curry lift another trophy? Regardless of how this story ends, one thing is clear. The organization is not complacent. There is discomfort, there is ambition, and there is the perception that there are still chapters to be written. This does not guarantee that the exchange will happen, but it shows that the team refuses to live on memories alone. The desire is to truly compete, and that requires courage. If this move comes to fruition, we will see one of the most impactful duos in recent league history. If it doesn't happen, it will be because the cost exceeds the acceptable limit, or because some other opportunity will arise. In any scenario, what is at stake is the immediate future of the franchise and the outcome of the most successful era the Warriors have ever had. Now the debate turns to you, the fan, between emotion and reason, between gratitude and ambition, between past and future. What choice would you make? Keep everything as it is, or accept the pain of change to try something great again? These questions are not simple, but they are part of the greatness of a team that has never been satisfied with less. The path ahead will require firm decisions, and whatever the outcome, one certainty remains. The Golden State Warriors have not finished their story. He just decides, at this point, which version of himself he wants to be from now on. So that's it. We are facing one of those moments that separate ordinary teams from historic teams. Either the Warriors accept the discomfort, face the weight of big decisions, and launch themselves towards the top again, or they run the risk of living only on memories of what once was. The NBA board is moving, conversations are happening, and the impact of what could come out of this is huge. If this bomb really goes off, nothing will be the same for the league, and especially for the Golden State Warriors. Get ready because the next chapters could completely redefine the future of the franchise. Stay tuned, because when the dust settles, we'll either be talking about the beginning of a new dynasty or the boldest and most controversial move of the Curry era. There is no neutral zone. It's greatness or stagnation. And now, if you want to follow every update on this possible earthquake, every hot rumor, every step of this negotiation, and everything that involves the Warriors in time real, go straight to the Golden State Warriors News Today playlist that will be in the pinned comment. Click, binge watch the videos, and stay up to date with everything. Don't miss anything about what could be this franchise's most defining moment.